Hi, this is Shaheedah Hill. I wanted to do a video really quickly because a lot of people ask me or have been asking me lately, how did you start on YouTube? And, how did you get started? Or do I mentor agents and that sort of thing? So I think it's good to lay a foundation right now as to how I started and how I, became, I guess, a YouTube influencer at this point. I have 40,000 subscribers, and this is specifically for agents or people that want to become agents. I want to give some insight into that, and hopefully it can help you going into the new year as it did last year as I went into the new year. I did decide to do a channel just for agents, so that link is in the description, and it's just started. There's no videos on it, so this will be like the first transition video. And also, I was going to say something else, but I forgot. Maybe I'll get back to it in a second. But if you are new to this channel, please like and subscribe. If you're an agent and you want more agent-specific content, please subscribe to my agent video, and the link is in the description. So let me start here. Number one, I got my real estate license when I was 23 years old. I am 42. A lot of people can't guess my age sometimes until I start talking a lot. And they're like, oh, okay, she might be a little bit older. Or if I don't know the hip things that are going on. So I am 42. And so I've had my real estate license for a minute. However, I did it for 2 or 3 years without, I was making money, but not making a lot of money. So I started substitute teaching. And when I was substitute teaching, because my major was business, they needed a business teacher at a particular high school that I was teaching at. And I said, let me close my laptop, sorry. And I said, okay, how much does that pay? And I like stability, and real estate, of course, is not that stable. It really depends on the market. So I took that job, and I kept my real estate license for a little while, and then I kind of got more into teaching. And I've taught everything from accounting to banking, investing, computer science. So I've taught everything in the business and technology field. And I've always been an entrepreneur as well. So I always taught and did something else. So I won't get into all of that, but I've always taught and had a side business of some sort. Now let's fast forward. I taught a total of 14 years. In between that time, I had my children, that sort of thing. So it was never a good time to get back into real estate because the younger they are, the harder it is to kind of, in my opinion, to kind of move things around. So I started a business. It's actually a magazine called South Fulton Lifestyle. I started that business probably about 5 years ago. Probably not the best move, a little bit more than 5 years ago, because my daughter wasn't even 1 yet. And when you're starting something, you have 2 young children under 3 years old, it was very difficult. So I quit my teaching job, started the magazine. I would say it didn't go bad, but it didn't go I wasn't making a whole bunch of money again. And what I did was I sold the magazine. It's still in existence today, actually. So I got it started, but I had to let it go. It was just too much balancing the family and that business at the same time. So I went back to teaching. Around the same time we were buying a new house. And I said, well, I let my real estate license lapse. And at first, my best friend, Nicole, if you watch a video that we did on new construction, she actually got me into real estate when we were roommates in our 20s. And I was going to have her represent us in getting the house. And she said, you know what, just renew your license. You get to keep the commission. Just go ahead and do it. So I went ahead and I renewed my license about 4 years ago, got everything back, started. But I still had to teach because, again, in real estate, you're not going to make money, that quickly. So I started teaching again, and with the whole plan of I'm going to quit eventually. I need to because I'm really wanted to be an entrepreneur for the most part. So I'm back teaching, and then I taught for 3 years, and I started doing real estate at the same time now that I, renewed my license. And with that, I told my husband I'm ready to quit again. And then he said, and I said, at the time I was averaging about the average home price is $250,000 to $300,000. So the way I figured it, I could sell at least 5 to 6 houses, and I would make, let me go back. I went from full-time teaching to part-time teaching in 2018, 2019. So I went to full-time to part-time, and I was teaching computer science and entrepreneurship at the time. And so in order to make my part-time income, I was making, normally I made like 70,000 teaching, and half of that was 35,000. So that's what I was making then. And I said, if I can sell 5 to 6 houses, that's pretty much our income. We live on a really tight budget. I said, I could do that. So he agreed. That basically if I saved the money that I was going to make that year, he wanted $30,000 just in full. He wanted $30,000 saved in an account before I quit, because I've quit my job before. So that gave him like some more security to say, okay, at least we have this amount of money in the bank. So at this time, I said, okay, we made a deal. That's what it's going to be. If I have $30,000 in the account, I can quit my part-time teaching job. But at the same time, I knew with real estate, I have to get leads. I have to have something other than my sphere of influence, like your family and your friends, to build off of. So I went to Zillow, because everybody was on Zillow, and so Zillow at the time was like $500 a month, and that was not even for a lot of leads. That may have been, I can't remember the percentage, but you would get like maybe 2 or 3 calls a day for that $500. And so I got maybe one serious client from Zillow in that 1 month. And that serious client didn't want to buy anything. They were seriously looking, but they never bought. And it was a month to month, but you had to cancel before the new month began. I forgot to cancel it. So I was actually doing Zillow for 2 months, even though I said I'm only going to give it a try for 1 month. So I paid about $1,000 to Zillow. That didn't work. And so I was looking, what else could I do? And there's somebody called Tom Ferry. He's a real estate coach. And he was talking about video. So I said, okay, I'll start a YouTube channel. So I kind of started the YouTube channel, started doing little things about like Georgia real estate, Atlanta real estate, the schools, because I was a teacher, so I knew about the schools, taxes, anything that was Georgia related, I kind of did. If you look at my old videos, I had started doing that. And it wasn't until one day I was driving. I think I was showing property, because I would teach during the day, and then I would show property on like afternoons and evenings. So I dropped my children off at my mom's house, and I was driving to go pick them up. And somebody called me, and they said, I just saw you on YouTube. Well, they didn't say that. They said, I want to buy a house, and I wanted some more information. And I said, hi, how do I know you? I want to thank the referral or whatever. And they said, I saw you on YouTube. And I said, really? I said, what video did you watch of mine? And she kind of went to explain it. And that kind of was a light bulb in my mind. And it said, and she was calling about a down payment assistance video that I did. And that was a light bulb in my head that said, oh my goodness, people actually are watching my YouTube video. And when that happened, I said, okay, like Tom Ferry is probably telling the truth. Then I said, let me research a little bit more about how to do these YouTube videos correctly. Because I think it wasn't really a strategy at the time, that I was really using to get views or to get people to watch me. I was simply making the videos. So then I got really serious about, being more specific about the types of videos I was posting, that sort of thing. But they were still Georgia related. But I was very specific about the types of videos that I was doing, so I could attract those people to my channel. Now, one of the things I learned was keywords everywhere, which is like basically tells you how many times things are searched on Google. And then I also started using TubeBuddy, and I have a link to TubeBuddy in the description, so you can get started on that. So TubeBuddy and keywords everywhere was something that I found by doing my research, watching other people's YouTube videos, that was kind of the missing component of of how people were getting these views on YouTube. So I went ahead and started doing more of my videos. I had more people call me just randomly. And then one person called me from Kentucky. So remember, I'm in Georgia, but somebody called me and she said, I'm calling from Kentucky, and I was thinking about using some kind of program, whatever. And I saw your video. And at the time, I'm like, okay, well, I can't really help you in Kentucky. And I helped, kind of guided her into the right direction of how she can find resources in Kentucky. But another light bulb went on my head. I said, well, if she saw me somehow in Kentucky, then other people need this information in other places. So my Georgia video started doing better, but in November of 2019, I did a video called Best Down Payment Assistance in Every State. So that is, if something went viral on my channel, nationally, I guess, it was that video. So that video started getting a lot of views, a lot of people searching for it, I guess, and saw me on it. And then I got a lot of subscribers that way. And by doing that, I was like, oh, okay. So that's what people want to see. So then I really niched down to first-time home buyers. And that's really how I got the subscribers that I got over this last year. Because mind you, number one, I had motivation because I already quit my job. I was a teacher, so we're contracted, but I did not sign my contract for the next year. So number one, I'm motivated, and I knew I had to start getting leads from somewhere. And then number two, YouTube kind of, because people were calling me, that was like, okay, this thing is working. Let me do more of it. And so, people say when something's, on fire and you want it to go well, pour gasoline on it, basically. And so that's what I started to do. And it wasn't, another thing people are really surprised by usually is I do everything, at least so far, on my cell phone camera. And I don't have an iPhone, I have an Android. And my high school students always used to laugh about my Android, but I'm representing for the Androids. I had an LG Android that probably cost me $100. Right now I have a Samsung that probably cost me $150. I'm very budget conscious. So that's what I record all of my videos on. And some people might notice, some people may not, but I don't have a microphone. I don't have anything but a light. I do have a light that I have just because when I used to put my children to sleep, probably at like 8 o'clock, most of the videos that I did at night. So there was no like outside lighting and that sort of thing. So that's how I got started on YouTube. And then from there, I would do any video. And number one, because I'm in, I used to be a business teacher and I taught investing and all of those types of things. It kind of came quick to me to know, okay, this is what I need to talk about, because a lot of these things I talked about with my students. Like we even talked about mortgages. There were chapters about mortgages. Even though they were young, we still had to go over that in banking and finance. So it wasn't like I had to study that much. I would just kind of, flow and talk about, real experiences, really what they need to know. But one thing that I did was really niche down on first-time buyers. And that's it. And I would make sure I responded to the comments, and a lot of the comments would give me other videos that I probably needed to do on my channel. I also started a Facebook group with, I have about 2,000 buyers. So a specific Facebook group for first-time home buyers. And that's pretty much how I came from here to, from where I was to here today. And when I started January 2020, I had 717 subscribers. And so I've come a long way since January. And a lot of it has been to just like me interacting with my clients, not my clients, my subscribers. And then I get a lot of my clients, and what's crazy about it and what my goal is for 2021 is to get back to some of the Atlanta content on I have another channel that I have. It's called Shaheedah Hill Atlanta Real Estate, that I need to really focus on because this channel had been doing so well, I didn't really focus on Atlanta content. So I created a whole new channel for that, and I'm going to really focus on that in 2021. So I wanted to start there so you guys had some kind of background into how I started on YouTube. And 717 was January, and now I think I'm at about 43,000 subscribers, and I hope to grow even more in 2021, because this has been a crazy year for the most part. Like everything was crazy. Everything I had to kind of pivot and learn, and because it was easy when January, February, I was getting people's closing costs. I was getting offers accepted very easily, that sort of thing. And when coronavirus happened and interest rates were lower and everything got so much more competitive, it really had to kick in gear and get a whole new skill set to make sure that my buyers were going to be competitive in the marketplace as well. So it's been an amazing year. I hope for even more amazing things in 2021, but hopefully this is helpful to you as agents to know, okay, how did I come from, who's Shaheedah Hill Real Estate to where I am now? Thank you so much. And I look forward to working with you on my new channel, which I call, what did I call it? Shaheedah Hill for Realtors. All right. Thank you so much.